My country people them. Today na Monday, the 16th of December 2019, and I come for talk about a few important things in Fona. I don't see a few people that debate about some things them. Firstly, I could talk about special status, the bill where they currently debate for Cameroon Parliament as we speak. And also, I could talk about the Amba Lies, the way they talk like say, the lies they so the US Congress, they don't give Cameroon government 72 hours for leave, so-called Ambazonia. I could also talk about the US Air Force aircraft where it landed from Simalen a few days ago. And then I could also talk about the letter where 9 US Congress people, they write to President Biya, they endorse the Swiss-led mediation process. I could also talk briefly about mayor for Boya, Patrick Ekema, where he died a few weeks ago, and they lay you to rest on Saturday, the 14th of December 2019. So, first things first, the special status bill where the Cameroon Parliament is currently debating for Yaoundé, for the English version of that bill, I don't check it get now 142 pages for that legislative document. And how many people them? They don't take the time for read every single one of those 142 pages. Now the question that a lot of people today on social media, they debate and they talk nonsense about bill where they don't get any idea about the content of the bill itself because they never take the time for read them. So many of us, we are talking about things we know nothing about. So now the first thing that people, they don't ask me, say, me, I come, I do live show about the bill where they debate for parliament. I ask them, say, well, now why I can't talk so I never read the bill. So I don't even get opinion about the legislation because I never read them. Now 142 pages. So all these people, they call themselves, say they be Ambazonians. The first thing we want to get to tell them, as soon as they start talk about special status, just tell them, say, what has that got to do with you? Special status now for one and indivisible Republic of Cameroon. Ma show now, yes, one and indivisible Republic of Cameroon. Now, what did that special status it be all about? Special status it not get anything to do with Ambazonia. So may they not get anything, may they not concern themselves with where they debate inside our parliament for one and indivisible Cameroon. So now the first thing that if any Amba fool it begin to talk fool now about special status, just tell them say the special status it has no effect on our Facebook revolution, on our Facebook republic. So we now go debate about our own parliament and leave our own parliament and our own bills the way we debate for our parliament alone. So now my contributor them. Moving on to the Amba Lie, where they talk out there, where they talk today, so the United States Congress, they don't give 72 hours for President Biya for pull so-called troops out of so-called Ambazonia. The first thing we want to get for understand and say, one, President Biya never deployed no troops into the Anglophone zone. Now the first thing that there are no troops there. The military presence we there for day. It don't always be. Now only say it don't for every subdivision. It don't put I think 10B for protect the divisional officers. Now all that it don't get no military deployment. So secondly, they be talking now 72 hours. 72 hours now 3 days now. Maybe the 3 days don't pass. What don't happen when I don't gain independence? Now the question that when I don't get independence after the so-called 72 hours, okay. And when I first understand say one a lie, the people the way they out there, a lot of people them, the day out there they talk, they say, my country people, they say, wait at the year so say America don't give Cameroon government 72 hours. I asked them, say the first question I said, one, does America rule Cameroon? Honestly, my country people them. Now, one of the reasons this way it be so easy for Ambazonia for succeed in their mission for propaganda, misinformation, and manipulation and fake news, because we are people they be very gullible and very easily manipulated because we be poorly educated. Now, the reality there, how you go there for Cameroon? So man tell you not tell them. It no provide you any evidence. It just you don't in the wildest dreams. Just talk and ye. Say it there so American Congress don't give Cameroon government 72 hours. It just talk and ye. It no provide you any shred of evidence. Zero. It no show you no written document for some side. It no show you no website where American government write down for day. It no show you no speech where the American representative it talk anything. You believe him. That one are just to tell you how stupid and gullible Why people today? Why people they be very, very easily manipulated because we be stupid. Very stupid. Because some person who just can't talk any nonsense, una believe them. It talk say, America don't talk say, you believe them. It give you zero evidence. And then the funniest thing I say, una know una very well. Say it is so Ambazonia it be based on lies. 100% lies. They don't lie una sute lie una they still they believe the lies them. Wait to be wrong with una country people them. Una remember a time where the same Amber fools they be tell una say United Nations it go give a blank school year. What happened? When I remember now the same Ambazonians they be tell when I say this so United Nations against ships for Ambas Bay. Muna come on go for Boya go march for independence. Say anything happen, United Nations go run can't give you independence. Who started Independence Day? They don't start talking that thing since 2017. They is still talking today, 2 years after the wrong fool una they still the believer una dull bad. Really stupid. Some person go, she don't talk the stupidest thing. Where it not get no shred of evidence. Where even class 1 picking go hear them, a laugh. And then when I believe them. And the funniest thing I say, some highly qualified people them, where they go school, but school no go through them. They work and share that kind of information. I don't see some people, the magistrates, people them in big positions, them educators, them principals of school, teachers, them they share that information and they believe them. Say this so the America don't give 72 hours for Cameroon government for leave so-called Ambazonia. Okay. So the thing I say, why is it so that these people they be so easily manipulated and they be gullible, they be prone to believing nonsense? One of the reasons that because for the past 6 months, Ambazonia never get 1 ounce of good news. So now only bad news for these people, the way they call themselves, said they be Ambazonians. So all where they get now bad news. So now they are so desperate for anything where it will give them any kind of hope. Any shred of hope. Because if we now look at in the past, say 6 months, bad news upon bad news. Number 1, they don't discover the my trip to Boya Saga, how the corruption, embezzlement, and other kind of thing them, it demoralize them. They don't say and say this, so Cameroon government, they go ahead with the things them, national dialogue, it don't hold, it be successful. Actually, now who sponsored the national dialogue? Now the United Nations Secretariat, the secretariat for the Secretary General, now he provided 10 billion francs CFA, where they use them for sponsor the national dialogue. So the whole international community, know they hear about Ambazonia. Not a single country recognize Ambazonia. And all of those signs them, Amba boys, they don't tire for day for bush. They drop their guns them. If you go for DDR Center, for Bamenda, for Boya, the day hundreds of Amba boys the day for day, they don't drop their guns them. The one the way they don't kill them. So now, the one the way they don't run, go for Nigeria. So now they don't even get them. People the way they go die for them. Because when I remember, I said these people, they call themselves, said they be Ambazonians. Many of them, they did them abroad. And the other one, they did inside Cameroon. They did for Francophone zone. Now the reality that. So they be so desperate for any news where they fit whole lamb, say this, so now it will give them some kind of hope. So anything where they hear them, now they just believe them. If it be into it massage their ego. If not information where it will give them some kind of hope where it will make them feel good about the so-called Ambazonia. So now one of the reasons that way you could see people when are teachers, magistrates, and all those kind of lawyers that they share this kind of information. They tell you, say, oh, look, America there for our side. Absolute nonsense. You know it's nonsense. I know it's nonsense because Ambazonia don't get now only bad news. So now, Amba boys and two, they don't get enough. National dialogue, it go on. Now, special status will get them, it load, it they on the way. So Ambazonia don't look and they say and say this, so they don't get them nothing where if you give them any hope and why they believe in any nonsense where any person talk them as long as they say and say this, so now it be positively or possibly good news for Ambazonia, they share them. So now, if this kind of people, they share this kind of nonsense, the only thing where you get for ask them now say, 1, just like how when I be promised, say United Nations it go declare a blank school year, is that the same way when they talk today? So this 72 hours nonsense. When I don't lie, we so they can't lie, we don't tire of lies them. So anything where any Amber person talk just automatically believe I'm saying a lie until you see evidence. Now all that, if they just talk anything, just say fake news, show me the evidence. Now all that. So when I know, when I say by now, the evidence is there out there. Say it is Ambazonia is all about lies, manipulation, fake news, propaganda, misinformation, backstabbing, sabotage, blackmail, stealing. They are all thieves and she pastors them. And stupidity, infinite stupidity. Now wait that way embody and categorize what they call and say Ambazonians them. So anytime when you hear anything when Ambazonia or Amba fool it talk your initial reaction are fake news. Tell you say make it show me evidence. You know they believe what way they show you, make they show you the evidence. You want reassess the evidence for yourself before you take in the information. So may no person, not just talk any nonsense for you. Say 72 hours when I should not for them will be very gullible and when I do any person will believe that kind of nonsense, you be stupid. Even if you believe that for 1 second. Because one of the questions where you get to ask yourself now say, does America rule Cameroon? How we go get our own parliament for Cameroon? We get our own judiciary, our own army, our own police, our own president, our own everything as a sovereign state, our own flag, our own national anthem. And then some person tell you say a different country on a different continent. They don't for their own parliament, and then their Congress, they don't order Cameroon government, so make a move out of their own part of the country within 72, and they talk that kind of nonsense. You believe them? It means that you don't get 2 brain cells. It means that you dull per sheep. You need to just ask them, say, now America they control Cameroon. Even if American Congress, if you talk that kind of nonsense, Cameroon government gets 0 obligation for even listen to that nonsense. Because it's nonsense. Do they control Cameroon? No. We make our own laws. We are a sovereign nation. That is it. So, even if America be talking that kind of nonsense, the answer where you give the Amber Fools and I say, so what? Even if America be talking, so what? 72 hours, they don't come past now. Cameroon army, Cameroon military, the divisional officers, the all man is still there. What's the way they be there? So when I don't get independence now, so what? Absolute nonsense. Even if it be being not true, that one absolute nonsense. I wanna there out there when I believe them. The worker ask me, countryman, I don't hear that kind of story. What is going on? You where you even believe that kind of nonsense for 2 seconds, you get problems for your head. Okay, so now moving on to the third thing I want to talk about. That United States aircraft, the plane where it be land for Douala or now for Yaoundé in Somaliland airport a few days ago, where Amber Fools they did on social media, they don't spread the pictures them about the aircraft and then they write nonsense on top of the post them. Ma show you now the aircraft where it be land or for Somaliland airport. As one of you see, I'm the writer for the U.S. Air Force. Yes, now Air Force. But if you see that aircraft, now a passenger aircraft. Right? Now a passenger plane or cargo plane where they transport cargo on behalf of the U.S. Air Force. I don't know, maybe because people they be this Amber Fools they be poorly educated, they don't understand them. Say yes, even though na Air Force and the Air Force now part of the military, but even within the Air Force you get different branches them and different roles. Maybe now every aircraft they engage in war fighting. Even inside the Air Force itself, they get aircraft when not only for carry and transport passengers and equipment. You understand? So that aircraft it land from Somaliland, logistics aircraft where it carry na equipment. And as stupid as the Amber Fools they be, they don't understand them. Say that aircraft it land now for inside Cameroon, from Somaliland airport. Every aircraft where it land for that airport, it need permission from the Cameroon state authorities for land. We get to know, say it come even before it depart. Who's way it depart, except for emergency landings. Them it get for first tell we, for example, it get for tell we. A destination, a final destination, way you come out, which way you carry on that aircraft, the passengers, the way you carry them, every single passenger, their names, their identity, their nationalities, all that, their age, their gender, all that information. Where they call them, what they call now, it's source on board, or they call them a passenger manifest. They therefore provide all that information to the airport authorities before they even grant them permission for touchdown on our territory. Now so it waka. So for Amba fools them in their infinite stupidity for she done for Facebook Republic begin talks today so American aircraft don't Air Force it don't land for Somaliland. So what? What does that mean? It means that when I gain independence because one logistics aircraft where they ride US Air Force for day it land from Somaliland Airport. It means that when I get independence, aircraft with a beg permission from the Cameroon government will grant you permission before you land. And then within a few hours, after it don't offload the cargo where it can deliver them for Cameroon, it take off, continue your journey. And as the aircraft it cancel it go, it no live when the independence where we be hope for. So in when infinite stupidity, all we wanna know now fake news, propaganda, misinformation, and manipulation. The aircraft it don't already depart, it don't already go, and it no live when the independence where we be talk about on Facebook. Nonsense. So any person will begin to talk that kind of stupidity, whether on Facebook or everywhere, I beg una fellow Cameroonians and country people, una engage una brains. Engage your brain. If they start talk any kind of that stupidity, just ask them, say, who give them permission even for land from Somaliland Airport? No mean Cameroon government. If they can't do something with Cameroon government, it no agree to, will forgive them the permission for land. Now they question that. We for deny them permission and they not for gain access to our territory. And if they come by force and then at that time they will come with attack jets, then they can attack them. Then now Cameroon and America are good in a state of war. But no na logistics aircraft where it can deliver goods, it can drop off cargo and then continue your journey. When I just see pictures the way person stand for outside take them, and when I infinite stupidity, when I go start writing nonsense on Facebook, and as dull as our own Cameroonians today, they start to believe some of the nonsense. Okay, moving on to the next one. Right, una give me 1 second. Maybe I drink my hot chocolate while I don't make them. Right. So now, moving on, my country people then. Part 4 where I want to talk about the U.S. Congress, about 9 members of the United States Congress, they will write letter to President Paul Biya. And Madame Karine Bass been one of the people, the way the signatories for that letter where they send them to President Paul Biya. And as a result, again, Amba fools the day on social media that they misrepresent and they spread propaganda and fake news about this particular letter where they write them to President Paul Biya. And for the letter, they endorse the Swiss mediation process. What does that mean in the first place? For una def here in this Amba fools them. The Swiss mediation na about federation, na federalism that. So una def here we una no even understand. Una call ourselves say una be restoration. Now what do they call themselves? Restorationists. Una they restore una independence. The first thing when I get to ask the Amba fools and when they ever talk about restoring independence, I say, if true say una be don't gain una independence, and then tell me where to be now una the name of una country, where to be the flag for una country, where to be the anthem for una country, who's how una ambassadors for una country they go, where to be una diplomatic relations, international diplomacy, because now where to that way it determine a sovereign state. Which way they determine a sovereign nation, now say it get international relations with other sovereign nations then. Now which embassy they way we don't ever get them outside of our own country, for sure say we'll be in an independent country. Even name just one. Now which international organization where we will join them as an independent state since we have don't gain our independence since 1961. Now the question that, and as when I talk about the Southern Cameroons gaining independence, may we also talk about the Northern Cameroons gaining independence, because now exactly the same document, now exactly the same plebiscite where we will get them in the Southern Cameroons, where they get them in the Northern Cameroons, where they vote for join Nigeria. So anything where it happened for the Southern Cameroons, now identical where it go happen in the Northern Cameroons. If to say the so-called Southern Cameroons be don't gain so-called independence, then now also you talk today, so the Northern Cameroons, if you don't gain your own independence as well. Now the reality that. So now they always talk about always talk about 1961 as if their own history a start now for 1961. When I ask the Amba fools them say this so, wait to be Usa Ambazonia be there for 1910. Simple question. May they explain for una. Usa so-called Ambazonia be there in 1910. Did it not exist? They only ever talk about 1961. And even when they talk about that 1961, they talk about restoration. You want to restore anything for 1961, you do restore Naweti, now the Federal Republic of Cameroon, and now federalism that. Whether now federalism or special status, it boils down to one thing, my country people, they make a show now. It boils down to one and indivisible Cameroon. Yes, even people, the way they talk about federalism, now one and indivisible Cameroon. Special status, now one and indivisible Cameroon. And so, some Amba fools that they out there, they don't come for me. They say, countryman, how market for American Congress writing to Paul Biya, say, make it support the Swiss initiative. I ask you, say, yes, how market for that? Swiss initiative, federalism, I like federalism. If they give it federalism, I like it. Is one and indivisible Cameroon. How market for Ambazonia? That is the reality. Now, so when I get to answer the fools them. If they ask you, say, how market for Swiss mediation, ask them, say, Swiss mediation, it mediate now about bringing peace to Cameroon. Nothing to do with so-called Ambazonia. Nothing to do with so-called separation or division. That is the reality where all una get for understand. It get nothing to do with separating Cameroon. No country, no day on this planet where it go encourage another country to break apart. Not one. Even the letter where the U.S. Congress write to President Biya, they suggest they don't get no authority for tell Cameroon government. They plead, they like say na friend way is see say you get problems for us. For example, your next door neighbor way is see say you for una house. Una they also fight papa and mommy, they fight every day. And then it just call you the papa, you come for bar or whatever, it buy one mimbo, then they say bo master. This thing as una they also fight it, so it no fine because we they like family, una picking them and my picking them now friends me and you know so it finds it so me una fix this una married where una be married. So me una fix and fine. I go suggest it so if you fit take your woman go for this nightclub or take it go for this place, go talk with so and so una go fix the problem. Now wait that way they happen. But it no means that so your next door neighbor it get any authority for come for your married house can't tell you how to do with your woman. It doesn't happen like that. America no it gets zero authority inside Cameroon. Zero. Now, why that way Cameroon get embassy inside America and America get embassy inside Cameroon? Because they've been at two sovereign states. So they just write letter to President Biya, just suggesting, say they submit the back the Swiss-led process or the Swiss so-called mediation initiative. And not tell una, Amba fools the way they fail to listen, say this. So the Swiss initiative, it be all about federation. Even for Madame Karine Bass and every single writing way, every single international organization don't write them about the middle ground. If to say one side it talk extreme side it talk for that side say this so they want now total and complete independence, and the other side for the other side say this so make everything stay the way it did now. So the middle ground now wait that way mediation be all about you idiots. The middle ground. Now for say, all man it must give compromise and you must come out from your corner where you talk say nothing will change and the other people really talk say we must separate. We must meet up for middle and that middle ground now for give some kind of autonomy to the Anglophone zone, and that is what the special status is. Whether you call it what or what, special status is just a different word for federalism. Yes, for give some level of autonomy to the Anglophone zone for manage its own business. That is just what federalism is. So special status is just another form of federalism. And that's what it is. And now wait that way, all the international organizations them. And the funniest thing I say, when it comes to about this so-called Swiss-led Swiss mediation process or whatever, when I not forget say this, so no not even all Ambazonians they're on board. Now, only Sarko Ekome group there on board. So even if you go negotiate with Sarko Ekome, what's going to happen with Ayabacho? What's going to happen with Akwanga? They get their own 15, 20 boys and 2 on the ground. What's going to happen for them? So when I get to understand that one, an international community is not stupid. So if me, I've been a Cameroon government and Cameroon president, I could just take that letter where U.S. congressmen and women, they write them for you. I could just tear and put them for being fine place on me. It's nonsense, dead on arrival. Swiss mediation nonsense does not even, we don't pass that stage as Africans, independent states, where the weirdness of white man can't tell we have to run our country, okay? Now, if we want to call ourselves, we've been an independent state, we'll not get for the word, some Swiss man, some white man can't tell we. If the worst come to the worst, we'll get ECOWAS, okay? We'll get the African Union for handle any mediation or internal affairs that inside African states. Switzerland has nothing to offer for Cameroon as far as that is concerned, okay? So, simple question we want to get for ask these Ambazonians as soon as they start talking about restoring their independence. What was your flag when you gained independence? What was your national anthem? How many countries did you have external relations with, embassies and all those kind of things, diplomatic missions with those countries since you say you were independent and you're only restoring your independence now? So me wanna tell we that one. So what about the former British Northern Cameroons as well? When I ask them about that question, so does that mean the northern states then for the British Northern Cameroons is also an independent state since 1961? And does that mean your history only started in 1961? What about 1910? What happened in 1910? Where were you in 1910? You Ambazonians. Okay, now my country people then. Moving on to part 5 of this presentation, I want to talk about Mayor Patrick Ekema for Biya, who was a great man, a great Cameroonian patriot. He died a few weeks ago and he was laid to rest on the 14th of December 2019. He was given a state funeral which was befitting of a giant, a leader of his people. So now, before Mayor Patrick Ekema, he remains, they lay to rest, they give you a state funeral. Some social media crickets, where they call themselves, say, Ambazonians, like Eric Tato, they call them crickets. These social media crickets, they on social media, they talk today, so they no ever agree, make a Mayor Patrick Ekema, he remains, enter Biya, they talk all that stupid nonsense on social media, of course. And obviously, on the 14th of December 2019, which is a couple of days ago, the Mayor Patrick Ekema Esunge was given a state funeral in Biya. And the only question we want to get for ask the Amber Fools them now, where them they? Who's I wanna be there? Time where they give Mayor Patrick Ekema a state funeral, a befitting sending off. Who's I wanna be there? Nonsense. All we wanna get na propaganda, fake news, manipulation, misinformation, and stupidity. Infinite stupidity. We wanna work at talk nonsense, barking without bite. So now, the only other thing where I want to talk again and say, Ambazonia has been defeated totally, especially in the southwest region. And this is all many thanks to people like Mayor Patrick Ekema. And also, obviously, I will give a lot of congratulations and thank you to the mayor of Manfe as well. He is also a very powerful leader of his people. And these two mayors have been instrumental also with the work of the Cameroon military and also the general public in the southwest region. They don't work in collaboration for make sure say they keep their communities safe from Ambazonia terrorism. And now life, it don't return back right now for Moliko, for Tiko, for Biya, for Limbe, even for Kumba. Life, it don't return, especially Manu. Now a total peaceful place where even Amba boys, they fear for past in those communities. Even though Ambazonians, themselves now they talk openly, public say this, so Cameroon, we don't defeat them totally for southwest region, especially for Manu, for Limbe, and for Biya. We don't totally defeat them. Now the Ambazonians, the so-called Ambazonians themselves, all over Facebook, social media, and everywhere else, now themselves they cry for the talk today, so we don't defeat them for Southwest. And this is due to the hard work of all of us, the patriots, the blacklegs, and all the mayors in the southwest region. We wish we had just one of this kind, Ekema Patrick, as mayor for Bamenda or for the northwest region, because Bamenda northwest, especially Momo and some parts of Bamenda, yes, some parts of Bamenda and especially Momo, are the only place that way Amba still even get anything for do in those communities. But at the end of the day, they punish and they destroy and so their communities. and now also the our country people them they refuse the pains from Ambazonia terrorism as it they happen. So the good news now say we don't defeat Ambazonia thoroughly 100% for the Anglophone, well, for the southwest region of Cameroon. Thank you, plenty my country people them. Now all that way I'll be really bringing for una. Can't talk for una today, and I hope say una go get a blessed week.
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa. We the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror. And your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.